The Vancouver Canucks make multiple moves as Patrik Allvin announced today a player has been placed on injury reserves after sustaining an injury, and with another out, Foote has made multiple changes to his lineup. But not only that, it's official as we get multiple updates surrounding key Canucks players that will be representing their country heading into this year's Olympics. We're going to break down all this, a roster move, calling a player up, and so much more on this episode. Before we get into it, I just want to say Happy New Year to everyone. We're trying to reach our goal of 9,000 subscribers, starting 2026 off with a bang. So make sure you're going to hit that free subscribe button. It means the world. And in return, we'll give you daily content around this team. Now with the Canucks, we're going to touch on these Olympics before the roster moves and a player placed on IR, and we do see multiple Canucks get named to their countries going into the Olympics. The first, Kevin Lankinen, will be a goaltender heading in through the Olympics for Finland. Now Kevin Lankinen is a goaltender that joined this Canucks team and has been a bit of a workhorse, with Thatcher Demko missing some time. And the big thing with Kevin Lankinen, a rough start to the year, but the back-to-back games, a 907 and a 949 save percentage, plus 14 for 14 in the shootout. Kevin Lankinen has been great over this stretch of games, and in the shootout, he has been statistically the best goaltender of all time. With Kevin Lankinen going to Finland, of course, UC Saros is going to get the starters crease, but Kevin Lankinen could make a legitimate battle for the crease, especially if they're heading into a shootout. Now, the big thing is we're going to see another player heading to the Olympics for Team Sweden, and that, of course, is Pettersson. Now, with Pettersson, a lot of people look at his numbers, and yes, a down year when it comes to the offensive production. He missed some time during the season, coming back after the Christmas break. But Pettersson is one of the best defensive forwards in the NHL and finally starting to get a bit of a groove after a very disappointing campaign just last season. Now with Pettersson heading to the Olympics for Sweden, we're hoping that he's going to get some more confidence going through his game. We're going to see him play with a lot of an elite talent. So getting him in with a lot of these guys, the confidence will grow, and hopefully Petey gets back to form where we've seen him absolutely dominate the NHL, which did fetch him his huge contract heading into just last season. Now with the Canucks, there was one player in particular that was not named to his team, and it absolutely shocked my mind, and that was Tyler Myers. I'm joking. Thatcher Demko, who was not named to Team USA. Now, someone that is a fan of Team Canada, of course, you can see the thing behind me here. I'm very happy that we do not have to face Thatcher Demko, but on the level of Thatcher Demko, it sucks to see the goaltender from San Diego not getting to represent Team USA. Now, when looking at the numbers, yes, missing a lot of time is going to do this for a goaltender, but when on his game, Thatcher Demko is a goaltender that can single-handedly win you games, and we've even seen people talk to say that there's no other goaltender in the NHL they would rather have play in an elimination game than Thatcher Demko. We've seen how good he's been not only this season, but the years prior when healthy, and it does suck that Thatcher will not be with Team USA once again. As Team Canada, this is a big sigh of relief, but it does suck to see not only him, but multiple other guys, as soon-to-be Vancouver Canuck, Connor Bedard, not soon-to-be, but a couple of years from now, did not make Canada either. But this is going to be an Olympics where we get to see two players go through, like we're seeing three players in the World Juniors playing off right now in the quarterfinals as well. But what's your guys' thoughts on this? How many points does Pettersson put up? Don't put 0 down in the comments. What's your thoughts on Kevin Lankinen? Does he steal the starter spot? Let me know all your thoughts down in the comments. But going straight into the second topic, we've seen the Canucks deal with yet again even more injuries. Now from Jeff Patterson, go check out his work. He does an incredible job. He did say yesterday that Rossi and Garland both out at least a week. Now with this, the Canucks have been dealing with a lot of injuries this season, and Marco Rossi, before joining the Canucks, was also out with an injury with Minnesota. Now going in today, we see Patrik Allvin announce that Marco Rossi has been placed on IR, retroactive to December 30th, and Archie Bains has been recalled from Abbotsford. Now the big thing looking, Archie Bains coming up, that's awesome to see. We seen him get his groove going once again in Abbotsford. He had a good spurt with the Canucks as well. He cleared waivers to head down, but with Marco Rossi out, this does leave a hole down the middle for the Vancouver Canucks once. So far in the season, with only 2 points in 8 games, Marco Rossi has been a bright spot for the Canucks when it comes to the offensive end. Yes, the numbers don't show up, but very good on the faceoffs, 50%, which is the career high, and he was coming off an injury that he sustained with the Minnesota Wild before rejoining the Canucks and then leaving the Canucks once again with another injury. Seeing him placed on IR, it does seem like they needed to do this with at least one player to recall someone from Abbotsford, which was, of course, Archdeep Baines, but with Conor Garland out as well, this does leave the Canucks without a lot of their top 6 forwards that have been contributing in different ways, of course, during this stretch, and that doesn't make it interesting when we see Marco Rossi come out of the lineup and the Canucks are now going through with new lines. The top lines with Jake DeBrusk, who was recently scratched, Pettersson, and Linus Karlsson, who I do want to give a shout out to very quickly in a moment, is a top line that's going to see different players kind of rotating through. We see the second line with Max Sexton going straight in on the second line, playing with Boeser, who has been struggling a little bit this season, and Evander Kane. Now with these two changes, one thing I will say with Linus Karlsson, he has been a diamond in the rough for the Vancouver Canucks. Someone that I had on my very, very late scratch on the Team Sweden roster, because when looking at Linus Karlsson, even saying Team Sweden with him does sound a little crazy. Having 9 goals for the Canucks sits tied on this team for third, tied with Boeser, Jake DeBrusk, who have both been struggling, of course, right behind Drew O'Connor and Kiefer Sherwood. This is a player that is one of the highest scorers for the Swedish players within the NHL this season since I believe November 15th until now. Linus Karlsson has been a huge part of the Canucks, and I'm so happy to see that these Abbotsford players that not only found their way onto the roster, Max Sexton got his extension going through this year. It's nice to see that they're promoting within and bringing these young guys throughout the lineup, and it's nice to see that both of these guys once again are going to crack the top 6. Now with Aatu Räty, all these lines came from their optional skate going into their next game. Aatu Räty finally in the lineup. Once again, I'd maybe do one flip and put David Kampf on the 4th line, but Liam Öhgren, Aatu Räty, and Höglander is going to be a very fun 4th line for the Vancouver Canucks, and Sherwood with O'Connor and the 2 goal scorer in David Kampf will station there. Now the big thing is, it seems like Joseph will be back in for this game, where we did see DPD scratch for the game, but Canucks fans, this is a team that's going to deal with injuries throughout the year. Every team is dealing with this with the condensed schedule and the Olympics coming up in February. What's your guys' thoughts on these lines? Do you like that Linus Karlsson got the promotion and kind of just pushed straight to that top line with Pettersson? Maybe you get that Swedish connection coming through on the 2 players. What's your thoughts? What would you change? Does DPD come in? I've seen a lot of comments of Victor Mancini getting called up. Let me know all your thoughts down in the comments about these lines, because it's going to get very interesting, especially when they start selling, because rumors are heating up around key players like Kiefer Sherwood, which I will do a full video on tomorrow, so keep your eye out for that. But with that, let's go straight into comment today. Coming through, I hope Willander stays. He needs some work, but he's getting better slowly, and seeing his game mature, it almost feels like a veteran in a very young man's body as we're seeing him progress, and I don't think there's going to be ever a time without an injury, of course, that we see him come out of this lineup. Let me know your favorite young player within this Canucks system. Is it someone on the team? DPD, Tom Willander, Linus Karlsson, is it someone in Abbotsford? Let me know all your thoughts down in the comments, and you could be featured on Comment of the Day. While you're down there, leave a like, subscribe, share this with your friends. We'll be back in another episode, so keep your eye out for that. Once again, Happy New Year to everyone. I hope 2026 treats you incredibly, but that's been it for this episode. I've been your host, Mark, and take care, Canucks fans.